ANON or 8 a.m. in the morning.
Man, what's happening, man? This is my business. You know what I'm saying? Man, I got PA's finest with me, man. Let's go. Let's go, son.
Flex on, I'll murder your next on. Flex on, high school had a special effects on.
Yo, what's good, y'all? No Mercy, Trap New York shit. NoMercyTV.com. Y'all already know what time it is. I wanted to do something interesting on this channel. You feel me? Just because this is my YouTube page, you know, it's you know, something that's gonna be a part of my legacy. You understand what I'm saying? So I wanted to start giving y'all just you know, little bits of just insight on, you know, because I want y'all to understand where a lot of my morals and principles and stuff like that come from, you know, when I'm doing these blogs. So I wanted y'all to get a little insight into, you know, my life and, you know, how I came up, stuff like that. You know, I got a very vivid and detailed, you know, just life, like, you know, all of the different stuff that done happened and, you know, the struggles and things like that I went through over the years. And I feel like it's pretty interesting. You know, it's really one of those stories of, like, you know, a lot of different trials and tribulations on, you know, different levels. Like, you know, I mean, I could talk my living situation growing up in the hood, family stuff, school stuff, different jobs that I had, you know, different fights I got into, and, you know, even down to me doing music, becoming a blogger, being a cameraman, being a league owner. Like, it's so much different stuff that I done went through in life. I'm like, let me just start, you know, giving y'all little blogs and, you know, bits here and there, you know, different stuff that done went on. So, trying to figure where should I start. I kind of should start from the beginning, right? I mean, shit. If you want to start, yeah, let's start that with my, you know, my whole living situation and stuff like that. For those of y'all that don't know, born in the Bronx, you feel me? What was it, Jacoby Hospital? But soon after, you know, my family ended up moving to Harlem. You know, first we was on Convent Avenue. I forgot what street we were staying on. We was like 130 or 140 something in Convent, and we wound up moving to, you know, where I spent most of my life, which is Colonial Projects. You know, 159th and 8th Avenue, end of the road. You know, it's the last block on 8th Avenue in Harlem, and then, you know, you keep going past that, you're gonna end up on the highway going to, like, the George Washington Bridge into the Bronx and, you know, things of that nature. So it's kind of a pretty out the way area when it comes to Harlem. Like, we like, I'm right up the block from Rucker Park, you feel me? But as far as, like, what Harlem is in terms of, like, what y'all may know is, like, the battle rap scene and, you know, where all the battles took place and stuff like that. Majority of that stuff was, like, 7th, Lenox, in, like, the 30s and 40s. And it's like, you know, it wasn't really too much going on outside of those areas. You know, that's pretty much, like, the central hub of Harlem. Like, where I'm from is, like, nobody really come up there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it was like, people might come up there to see chicks and, you know, things of that nature. But, you know, don't get it twisted. It's still the hood. But it's just not one of those places that's, you know, that has a lot of notoriety. And I'm talking about my project specifically. You feel me? Like, we grew up next door to Polo Grounds. You understand? Polo Grounds right across the street from Rucker. So, you know, Rucker was literally like a 2 or 3 minute walk for me from my building. and we used to be outside, go there playing basketball every once in a while, stuff like that. What's crazy was growing up, we really used to have beef with Polo Grounds as far as like you couldn't even walk to the train station. Like it got to a point where I believe in like middle school, like people from my projects, Colonial, would walk to the train station in groups. You feel what I'm saying? Because it was like, if you were somebody that was known in the area and it was like, yo, that nigga from Colonial, then a lot of times it was hard for you to, walk to the train station on, 155th, because it's like, yo, it'd be, first of all, the train station is right in front of Polo Grounds. You understand what I'm saying? So morning time, when, everybody going to school and to work and stuff like that, it's always a huge crowd of people by the train station. You understand? Usually a crowd full of Polo Ground people. You understand? And if you were somebody that people just didn't like, or people saw you at the Target, or whatever the case was, most times going to that train station in the morning, you fool. You understand? Like, it was really, we really grew up under those type of conditions. You understand? And that's something that, a lot of people, when you see all these people that be, commenting different stuff on the internet and shit like that, a lot of y'all didn't have an experience like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you ain't have an experience where you literally can't even go to school. Like, imagine being scared to go to school in the morning because you like, yo, you might get jumped at the train station. Like, eventually that fear goes away. You understand? Eventually you just gonna fight your battles and, do what you gotta do, which is something that, we all had to learn eventually. But, it really was that dread of you wake up in the morning, you're in the crib getting dressed, you eating, and then it's like, now I gotta go outside, go to the train station, and hope I can get to school from there. You feel what I'm saying? And it didn't, for me, right? It wasn't always an issue going to the train station, because at first I went to school, the school that's right there downstairs, PS 46. That's the school that the whole hood went to, that Colonial went to, and Polo Grounds went to. You understand? And so for a long time I was just, I didn't have to deal with that. But I got kicked out when I was in, I think it was third, fourth, well, it might have been like the beginning of fourth grade or something like that. I wound up getting kicked out because there was this kid that I, kept getting in fights with. And it was about to get ugly. I mean, between families type shit, and plus me being from Colonial, him being from Polo Grounds, like, I guess they felt like it was probably going to spiral into some whole other shit because, the school knew about the beef between the two projects. It would always be different fights and stuff like that at lunchtime. And it was always like a certain common denominator. So they knew whenever there was brewing issues between one person from each project, then they knew it was like, okay, something got to give. We got to get one of these dudes out of here. You feel me? And that's what happened with me. And what's interesting is, let me even talk about, the build up to that whole situation. When I was younger, right, I was the kid that, was heavy set and wore glasses. You understand? So I got picked on. I'm a grown ass man who will knock you the fuck out. So I'm not, afraid to admit that, yeah, when I was a kid, there was, I had these issues. I used to get picked on. If you was any person from any hood who went to any type of school where it was, rough kind of people, then what type of stuff went on there. The type of niggas that got picked on. You understand? But don't worry. This didn't go past elementary school. You understand? Like, I'm the type of person that I try to stay out the way. You understand? Like, I don't want no problems. I'm chilling. I'm coming to school to get my education. Like, I already got a messed up, not too messed up of a household, but I mean, I live in the projects. We ain't got all that much money. Like, I'm trying to get through school and, get through life so I can start, providing for my fam, et cetera, et cetera. These are things I was trying to pursue at an early age. You understand? Forgive me, y'all. It's hot as fucking here. But these are things I had an understanding of at an early age. So, I wasn't the type to bother people. You understand? And even still, like, anytime you see me wilding, it's on defense. Automatically. You understand? I don't start trouble. I just, I'm very effective at finishing. You understand? But going through school, it was always like, I'm heavy set. I wear glasses. Opposition is coming from all angles. People picking on me. People throwing little spitballs and, different type of stuff like that. And it's like, you learn what they tell you. When people is bothering you, tell a teacher, right? And you don't want to get in trouble, so you try to follow the rules a little bit. So, you have people doing this stuff to you and you're telling teachers, yo, this person bothering me. Yo, this person bothering me. Yo, this person bothering me. And it keeps on happening. I had times where niggas done ran up on me and just hit me for no reason. And I just, didn't fight back. Like I might have ran or, whatever the case was. And it was like, because I literally didn't want no problems. Understand? I'm telling y'all this as a kid coming up in pre-K, first, second, third grade, etc. Like that's just how I was. I got to a point where people say things to me. Now I'm saying stuff back to them. And people always try to say, like, when you're a kid who's getting into a lot of stuff, that you're a problem child. Like, you know how when chicks be like, niggas ain't shit, and we're like, as adults, we could think with our minds, like, well, is it niggas ain't shit, or are you the one causing the issue? As adults, we think our way of thinking is like supreme, especially over, when it comes to kids. So, I might have been getting into all these different little problems, and these adults with their experiences, like, well, why are you the one always saying something? Obviously, they make it seem like, because I'm always the one saying, yo, this person bothers me, yo, this person bothers me, that I'm the one initiating the issue, when, it's really not what's going on. You understand? And it kind of sucks because that really wasn't the case. Like, it really was me being a heavy-set kid that wore glasses, people calling me all sorts of E40 and Fat Albert and Barney and, all this other stuff that I'm getting called. And, it's one of them things like you learn growing up in the hood that you can't be soft. So you don't want to go home and tell your parents. And, and I'm from a single parent household, but, I always had mad people living with us, At that time, it was me, my grandmother, who I shared a room with, my mother, my cousin who was blind, and my two uncles, and I didn't want to, make a fuss, and because my moms ain't play, like, and I was never trying to be the person to have to bring my moms up to the school, because I know how my mom's is. Like, my mom's is one of those big mama, bad attitude, like, she will hurt you type mothers. You understand what I'm saying? So, I didn't want to get in trouble, so I would just come home and not say nothing, and that wound up playing against me, because it's like, okay, you telling the teachers people bothering you, teachers not doing nothing. Like, they're not doing what you want. You understand? And you're coming to school day in, day out, and these things are happening, and with no result, you feel like, yo, like, first of all, I shouldn't even have to tell my mother, because y'all are the teachers, y'all are the staff here, y'all should be doing something. You understand? But nobody's doing anything, and every day I have to keep coming and dealing with these kids who are, saying things to me. And eventually it gets to a point where now I'm saying things back. But, I've always been a person who was quick-witted. I knew what to say to hurt somebody who, I'm an observer. You understand? I don't fuck with people. I'm an observer. I sit back and watch. So when a person is trying to bully other people and you're seeing things that tick them off, when they bring the attention to you, when I finally get to a point of responding, I'm not saying no light shit. I'm saying like your grandmother and, I'm on some going to the extreme. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm doing that because it's like, yo, leave me alone. You understand? And I'm thinking that going to the extreme would get motherfuckers to back off, but that just makes stuff worse. You understand? And it caused a reaction to where it'd be like, okay, dude's bothering me, but then I say something about their dead grandmother, their dead uncle, and then it's like, oh, but he said this. But it's like, yo, this person's been picking on me for all this time. Nobody said nothing. The first time I say something back, now I'm the problem. You understand? And it's just used to really like bother me. Like, yo, everybody could say all the stuff in the world to me that they want. Nothing happens. But then the minute I fire back, I'm getting suspended from school and stuff like that. You understand? So I'm gonna stop right there. I reached my 15-minute mark. So I want to do this in chapters. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna let y'all settle in with this. I'm gonna let this marinate. We're gonna get to, the next part of it. Stuff is gonna get interesting. You understand? I got a lot of different stuff to tell y'all. So, I'm gonna stop right there for now. I'm gonna see how this do as far as the views and likes and everything. And if I see the results that, I'm looking for, then, I'll add more to it. But comment, let me know what questions y'all got. Y'all know I'm always reading my comments and, seeing what people got to say. So, let's start a little movement here. I'm feeling, I'm liking what direction this is going already. So, let me know what y'all think so far. And I'll be back with more episodes soon, man. No Mercy, Trap New York shit, NoMercyTV.com. And let this be another thing. I'm a grown ass man. You can't use anything I'm saying against me. Like, I'm a person who I'm completely comfortable with who I am. I'm secure in myself. So anything that I tell y'all from my past, I'm sharing because I'm choosing to. You understand? This ain't information that, you could use to try to judge me. Like, this is stuff that didn't happen. You're talking about over 2 decades ago. You understand? And I'm still here. And, like, my friends that I made from those times are still around me. Like, I ain't one of them niggas who people circles change every year. They got a whole bunch of new friends. Nah, I'm still with my same niggas. Like, everybody who's in my immediate circle who I text on a daily basis and stuff like that are people I've known literally for 20 plus years. So, but we gonna get deeper into these stories and y'all gonna understand why, man. I'll holla at y'all. No Mercy, Trap New York shit, NoMercyTV.com. I'll be back soon.